Hello, my name is Jake McVeigh, and I'm a freshman attending UTRGV. Today, I will be talking about 4 assignments that I completed in my English 1301 course. These assignments include our annotated bibliography, our theory of literacy research paper, our self-assessment and checklist worksheet, and our rewriting paragraphs activity. Each of these assignments helped me develop important skills connected to the student learning objectives, also known as SLOs, and strengthen my writing behaviors throughout the semester. Now that I've introduced myself and the topics that I'll be talking about today, I would like to start with my annotated bibliography. For this assignment, we gathered all the scholarly sources we read at the beginning of the semester, and after collecting these sources, we wrote a 1-page introduction explaining the purpose of the bibliography, what the readings taught us about reading, writing, and research, and 2 research questions we might explore later in the semester. After the introduction, we wrote a 150-word summary and 250-word critical analysis for each text. The summaries required us to accurately explain the main ideas of each reading while using in-text citations. The critical analysis asked us to reflect on how the texts matter to us, evaluate their credibility, and explain how they shaped or challenged our understanding of reading and writing. Completing the annotated bibliography helped me become a stronger and more independent reader because I had to both summarize and analyze each source. This forced me to read every text much more carefully than I used to. Instead of just identifying the author's main ideas, I had to read closely enough to accurately restate the argument and then analyze its deeper meaning. I learned not only what the authors were saying, but also how they structured their arguments and why their rhetorical choices mattered. The SLOs that best aligned with this assignment were personal responsibility and written communication. Personal responsibility was applied because this assignment had to be completed individually and required us to manage our time, meet deadlines, and submit original work. Written communication was clearly demonstrated because we needed to interpret each text accurately, summarize arguments effectively, and write clearly for an academic audience. The writing behavior highlighted in this assignment was writing and reading process, since it required close reading, annotation, drafting, and careful organization of the ideas. The second assignment I would like to talk about is our theory of literacy research paper. For this project, we were first instructed to choose a topic and develop a research question we wanted to explore. After creating our question, I researched and read different theories, perspectives, and studies that related to my topic. The research paper followed a formal academic structure, which included several key sections. I began with a title page that reflected my claim and then wrote an abstract explaining my purpose of my research. My introduction contained a clear thesis statement presenting my main argument. Next, in my research conducted section, I explained which sources I found and why they were important. My findings section connected the research to real life and explained how the evidence I gathered affected everyday experiences while supporting my claim. I also wrote a counter-argument paragraph to show that I could understand and respond to opposing viewpoints. My conclusion highlighted the major takeaways and explained why the topic matters moving forward. I ended with a complete works cited page in proper MLA format. This assignment helped me become a better writer because it required me to think critically and organize my ideas clearly. Creating a strong research question, developing a focused thesis, and supporting my claims with credible evidence helped me learn how to construct a well-developed academic argument. Reading a variety of perspectives also strengthened my ability to evaluate sources, compare ideas, and understand the strengths and weaknesses in different arguments. The SLOs that aligned with this assignment were critical thinking and visual communication. Critical thinking applied because we had to analyze the logic, validity, and relevance of multiple sources in order to answer our research question. Visual communication was demonstrated through my topic, which focused on socio-economic status and depression. Many of the studies I used included graphs and charts showing correlations that I needed to interpret accurately. The writing behavior showcased here was rhetorical awareness, since I had to adjust my tone, structure, and evidence to communicate effectively with an academic audience. The third assignment I will be discussing is our self-assessment and checklist worksheet, which we completed using peer review. Working with partners, we reviewed each other's research paper drafts using a color-coded highlighting system. First, partner 1 read the draft silently for 15 minutes and highlighted 3 things: green for effective evidence, yellow for unclear or confusing ideas, and pink for where a source was missing or unclear. This helped us understand how well the draft used evidence and where it needed improvement. Partner 2 then used a different set of colors to mark specific sections of the paper. Each color represented a part of the assignment. Blue was for the title page, orange was for the abstract paragraph, purple for the introduction, gray for the research section, red for the findings, brown for the counter argument, and teal for the conclusion. Black was for the works cited and formatting parts. We looked for things like a clear thesis, correct research explanation, a complete counterargument, and proper MLA formatting. After highlighting, we answered reflection questions that helped us identify strengths, weaknesses, and areas that needed revision. This activity helped me become a better writer because it allowed me to see my writing from another perspective. My partner's feedback showed me which parts were confusing, missing evidence, or needed clearer explanation. Reading my partner's draft also helped me understand what strong writing looks like and what common mistakes writers make. The SLO demonstrated in this assignment was oral communication because we had to discuss our highlights, explain our reasoning, and communicate our feedback clearly. These conversations required active listening, clear explanation, and respectful dialogue. The writing behavior shown here was inquiry and information literacy, since we had to identify, label, and analyze how information and evidence were used in the drafts. The final assessment I will be talking about is the final assignment I'll be discussing is our rewriting paragraphs activity. For this activity, my group received weak paragraphs and our job was to identify the problem and rewrite them into stronger, clearer versions. Using a specific checklist, we checked whether each paragraph had one clear claim, used specific evidence or reasoning, connected a main idea, and explained the how or why, instead of just stating facts. Many of the problems were easy to identify. Some paragraphs lacked a clear claim, some listed information without analysis, and others had shallow reasoning, unclear connections, or no evidence. As a group, we revised each paragraph to include a focused claim, effective evidence, and clearer reasonings. This activity helped me become a better writer by training me to recognize common writing errors, like missing claims or unclear reasoning, and understand how to fix them. Working collaboratively allowed us to combine our strengths and learn from each other's perspectives. The SLO demonstrated in this assignment was teamwork because we worked together to analyze and revise paragraphs. We shared ideas, communicated openly, and collaborated towards a common goal. The writing behavior demonstrated was revision and feedback, since the activity required us to closely evaluate writing and make a purposeful improvement. In conclusion, the SLOs and writing behaviors we practiced this semester taught me a lot about myself as a student, a writer, and a thinker. I learned that I work best when I take time to revise, collaborate, and reflect on my writing and reading choices. I also learned that I am capable of understanding complex texts when I slow down, ask questions, and apply the reading strategies we practice in class. Even with all the progress I've made, I still have 2 questions that I continue to think about. How can I improve the organization of my ideas so that my drafts feel more focused from the beginning? And how can I become better at identifying the author's main argument when reading dense academic texts? These questions remind me that learning is an ongoing process and that I'm still growing as both a reader and a writer. Thank you for your time,